It's Monday, December 8th.
There are people that have booked flights. It is a responsibility for Air Transat to look after these passengers.
Potential travel nightmare with Air Transat pilots issuing a strike notice ahead of the busy holiday travel season.
Will you restart negotiations with Canada?
Oh, look, I have a great relationship with Canada. They're very tough traders, but I have a very good relationship with the Prime Minister and with Canada.
U.S. President Donald Trump non-committal on whether to restart trade negotiations with Canada.
Dominic Peter for the Blades, moving in, a shot. Hutchison stands tall. The Pats come up with the puck instead, and here's Julian Mays in over the Blades line. Through, Paredes shoots and scores.
The Pats snapped their losing streak, and the Blades is extended. Highlights coming up. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Monday.
It's a chilly Monday, and it's going to get colder, you said.
Yeah, well, Thursday evening, temperatures really taking a nosedive. We will see some of those overnight temperatures into the -30 area. So it's going to be cold.
Any snow, though, with it?
Yeah. A little bit of snow still this morning, and then pushing off for the afternoon, more on the way for the next few days, though. So it's going to be a winter wonderland.
Lots of weather statements, and you can get all through that. Let's get to your headlines first, and that begins with U.S. President Donald Trump saying Canada and the United States will eventually work out their differences on trade.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, the problem is Canada makes a lot of things that we don't need because we make them also. But we'll work it out. Look, Canada's a special place, and they really are good at ice hockey, aren't they? Mr. President.
Trump commented on talks he held last week with Prime Minister Mark Carney during the FIFA World Cup draw. Trump canceled trade negotiations with Canada in October over an Ontario government advertisement that quoted former President Ronald Reagan criticizing tariffs. A new report by the International Monetary Fund says the Canadian economy has held up better than expected under the trade shock of U.S. tariffs.
There's really two reasons why the Canadian economy did well over the summer months this year. First of all, there was an increase in government spending. A lot of that was tied to increase in military procurements, as well as some new government investments. And then secondly, the Buy Canadian movement had a massive impact. We saw our imports drop 2.2% over the third quarter. And this is what really saved the Canadian economy.
The report says the effects of the trade dispute were mitigated by exemptions under the North American Free Trade Agreement. Just as the busy holiday travel season gets underway, there's some turbulence ahead for air travelers. Air Transat will start suspending flights today as pilots prepare to go on strike.
We're trying to bring compensation up to date, along with our pension, the benefits, and also one of the most important items, job security.
Pilots voted 99% in favor of a strike and can take action as early as Wednesday. The two sides have been negotiating for nearly a year now. The union says the pilots have been without a new agreement since 2015. The union says contract talks have stalled over pay and working conditions, but the airline argues it's already offered significant raises. 4 people were taken to hospital after a weekend house fire in Regina. This one happened on the 1000 block of Angus Street just before 4 in the afternoon Sunday. Firefighters say the fire was contained to the main floor of the home. 4 occupants were taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause now under investigation. Let's bring in Jeremy Dodge now for an update on the death investigation in Prince Albert. JD, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Yeah, Prince Albert police investigating a weekend death in the Gateway City. Police called to a home on 18th Street Saturday afternoon where a theft was called in. Police found the body of a man inside. The Prince Albert Police Major Crimes Unit is investigating. An autopsy scheduled for today. Those in Saskatoon are able to get some holiday shopping done alongside some physical activity over the weekend. The second annual Paksong Pinoy Night Market was combined with Saskatchewan's first minor league pickleball event. More than 20 local vendors were at the event, so those watching pickleball could also do some shopping. The event's organizer shared that the idea came from both his passion for pickleball and a desire to bring aspects of a traditional traditional night market to Saskatoon.
Pickleball has always been a social type of environment, and you know, we want people to have fun, enjoy food, do some shopping. We want you to shop and play at Topspin, you know, and be able to, like, you know, eat, gather, hang out, watch some pickleball, eat some food, get some Christmas gifts, so, you know, all in one place.
Organizers share hopes to bring the event back for many years to come. Well, Daryl, some Regina City councillors giving back over the weekend.
That's right. They held a toy drive to help the Salvation Army provide gifts to some 1,500 families. Our Santa Claus, Wayne Mantica, was there.
It was a chance to give back to the community this Christmas.
We want to have young people experience kind of a normal Christmas when it comes to presents.
A number of community leaders were invited to pitch in.
And when you think about Christmas spirit, it's about giving and not receiving. And so we really need to make sure that everyone in our community has something to open up on Christmas morning.
The toys collected will be distributed by the Salvation Army.
And Salvation Army is going to be taking a number of toys back to be able to distribute to kids that might not otherwise get something for Christmas this year.
This year's goal is to help hundreds of families with toys at Christmas.
We've had a few other councillors show up, the mayor show up, just to collect toys for the 1,500 families that we're going to support this year.
Councillor Sickleys asked the McDonald's in Harbour Landing to host the event, where the restaurant owner recalls how her family was helped at Christmas when she was a child.
I came from very humble beginnings, and so we didn't have any money for toys or anything like that. So every year the firefighters would come over to my home to bring toys for our family. And now that I'm in a position where I can, you know, give back, we thought when, you know, we were doing this that we wanted to give back to the community.
The toy drive proved successful with enough donations to fill a half-ton truck. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Chilly weekend for the 35th annual Santa Shuffle in Regina. 200 people walked or ran along the 5-kilometer run or 1-kilometer walk route, many in costumes. It's become a holiday tradition to support families in need.
Today, I think we have over 200 individuals registered for the Santa Shuffle. Out here having a great time in wonderful costumes, running with friends and family and pets, and really making a difference in their community by showing up and doing an event like this together.
Organizers are already looking ahead to next year. Have you ever heard of a repair cafe? Well, this was held at the Heritage Market on Saturday. You could bring in your broken appliance, clothes, or electronics, and they'll look at them. They've done this about once a month in Regina.
It's the excitement of finally taking it apart and finding the problem, putting it back together, and realizing it works.
When I was young, my dad told me that I should start learning how to fix stuff around the house, and eventually just started buying stuff online to fix that were broken, and been doing it for probably about 7 years now, 6 years, since I was about 16 years old, so it's been a while.
According to the chair of the Enviro Collective Network, that's this group, 69% of items get fixed and typically takes between 30 minutes and 2 hours. The Regina Pats picked up a big road win against the Saskatoon Blades Sunday.
Dominic Peter for the Blades, moving in, a shot. Hutchison stands tall. The Pats come up with the puck instead, and here's Julian Mays in over the Blades line. Through, Perenis shoots and scores.
Michael Hutchinson recorded his first career shutout in both Ruslan Karamov and Julian Mays. Each had a goal and 2 assists for the Pats as they beat the Blades 4-0. The real winner on the day was the Blades Cooperalls. Check out those uniforms. They look fantastic. But the team has now lost 5 in a row. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Cold and snow is on the way.
Yeah, but it's not so bad because we want to get into the Christmas spirit, right? Definitely enjoy the next couple days, though, because we are seeing temperatures still right around the seasonal average. It's actually on Thursday night that we see those temperatures start to take a nosedive, keeping in mind that for this time of year, for Regina and Saskatoon, the average temperature for the afternoon is about -7, and overnight, the average right now is about -19. So as we get to that 7-day forecast in just a moment, just keep that in mind here. temperature. Right now in Regina, we're at -11. We do have a few flakes still left over from that system that we saw yesterday and into those overnight hours. Winds coming in at 24 kilometers per hour. Those are going to be increasing ever so slightly for our afternoon. -11 right now to wake us up in Saskatoon. Just a few minutes ago, we were seeing some little flakes there. It does seem like that system is starting to push away from Saskatoon, and you can see that starting on our futurecast. This is current right now, so Saskatoon and Regina, we're seeing it again just a few minutes ago. It's starting to push away. Prince Albert still seeing some flakes. Yorkton going to be seeing some flakes into the later parts of the morning. Also up through parts of the north, down through areas around Nipawin, and then areas just north of the Parkland region there. Once that system does push off, we're only talking about some of that snow up in the north, and then we're looking forward to a larger system coming in. It's going to start early tomorrow morning, and then into the later parts of the morning, it's going to stick around. But Regina, we're expecting to be seeing some freezing ice pellets overnight, so tomorrow morning is going to be a much more difficult commute. We're also talking about winds going up tomorrow, and then the snow is going to be continuing on into the later parts of the morning, early afternoon. Yorkton, again, going to be seeing some of that snow into the afternoon hours tomorrow as well. So by the end of the day today, again, we're just talking about some snow through Prince Albert, about 3 centimeters. Yorkton going to be getting about 6 more centimeters today, and Estevan about 1 centimeter. But then it's tomorrow that we see these numbers really shooting up. There we go. All right, today's forecast temperatures, we're seeing -3 for Moose Jaw, -4 today for Regina, -10 for Saskatoon, -2 for Weyburn, and -2 for Estevan, -11 expected for Yorkton with those flurries. Wind chill, not as much of a factor today as it was in previous days. It's only going to be feeling like -10 in Regina and Saskatoon, -16. So that's fairly mild compared to what we are going to be seeing for the rest of this 7-day forecast here. So as you can see, Thursday night down to -27. Friday during the day, we're only peaking around -26, -27 overnight. Wind chill making it feel colder. In Saskatoon, take a look at those temperatures Thursday night and Friday night and Saturday night into the -30s. Friday night could feel closer to -40.
This holiday season, families are gathering together, but they may have to share quality time with tablets, phones, and video games. It's an issue even Woody and Buzz in the upcoming Toy Story 5 have to contend with.
Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
Our adolescent years are such high impact years for brain development. The idea that technology can be interrupting that development is really concerning to me.
Now, adults across the country are finding creative ways to solve the issue, from some reportedly spending as much as $8,000 on camps to detox kids from their devices, to others tackling the problem themselves.
Turn the screens off. All right, turn them off.
Former NFL cornerback Chimdi Chekwa and his wife Sia are encouraging more outdoor play for their kids, but in the cold winter months, keeping kids busy can be a challenge.
They find plenty of things to do, and then we like to do things together. Like, they love to dance, so we'll play music and dance around the house, or they love to play games. They're really competitive in that nature.
And for many, like San Francisco mom Susan Rosenthal, packing the calendar for her daughter can feel like a full-time job.
We had to schedule every minute of the day because, or else she would be bored and there will be consequences for us.
Rosenthal partnered with other parents to create the Dex Learning Camera, a device which aims to teach kids new languages. Hoping to emphasize learning as well as play, in part to cut down on excess screen time.
For me, the peace of mind that she's doing something that I feel is more educational and is different and more interactive than, what is currently screen time.
Ultimately, increased screen time is here to stay, but experts say it's all about moderation and creating a plan, like establishing screen-free times, like during meals or before bed, and encouraging offline activity like arts and crafts, even imaginative play.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
have to give you a warning before this video because it may be too cute for you to handle. This is Taro, the snow monkey, seeing snow for the first time. He was born in June, a time of year not known for snow, of course. He stuck close to his mom at first as he got used to the weather, but eventually he warmed up to it.
You need to get one of those IKEA monkey jackets.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one all those years ago?
Oh my gosh, this is just too cute.
Look how little. Zoo content
pretty cool.
is the perfect Monday content.
Yeah.
It's true.
A lot of you did Christmas shopping over the weekend, and we know that holiday music is playing in all the stores everywhere, so we wanted to pinpoint on that for this question of the day.
Yeah, so we're asking you what Christmas song is an instant skip?
You hate it.
You hear it and you just go, absolutely not, skip it.
Not happening today.
Do you have one, Jeremy?
I bet he has
Rudolph
3.
the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, the Springsteen version.
Specifically.
Okay.
I am not a fan.
My wife can't handle that Hawaiian Christmas song.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the artist.
Yep.
Malakaliki-maka is the
and I
thing
purposely
to
sing
say.
it all the time and wrong. I always say like incorrect lyrics every single time.
For me, it's Mariah
awesome.
Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is
You can't do it?
I can't do it. I absolutely cannot.
Every year, #1 with a bullet.
Do you have one?
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Oh, you know,
But as soon as the 26th hits, I never want to hear one again. That's it.
I have another one, though, that I skip for a different reason, not because I hate it, but because it makes me cry every time. Old Toy Trains is a Christmas song that I will cry every time. And if I am not in a place where I can cry, I will hit skip.
Should we test this?
I don't, because I will cry. It's so beautiful. It makes me emotional.
We want to hear from you. What song do you hate? It comes on and you're grabbing for the remote to skip the channel as quickly as possible. Text 10400, standard message rates may apply, or scan the QR code on your screen. There's a very nice look at a very chilly Saskatoon.
Hello there, Jermaine Franklin here with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for that, we'll head to Western New York. Bengals, Bills, late fourth Joe Burrow to T. Higgins, and he comes up with an outstanding one-handed catch for the touchdown. That's one of the best catches you'll see this season. He finished with 2 tutties in this one, but in a losing effort. However, Higgins still earns your must-see moment from Sunday. Tonight on TSN, Week 14 of the NFL season wraps up with Monday Night Football as the Eagles visit the Chargers. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern across the TSN network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The Light It Up campaign has become a holiday staple, and this morning our Mike Siona is at the Saskatoon Food Bank shining a light on it. Mike?
Yes, we certainly are. It has become a staple here. The Light It Up campaign. I'm here with Laurie O'Connor at the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center. And don't look directly in that light, Laurie, as I just did, because you'll be lighting up spots all over the place. Let's talk about this campaign and exactly what it is all about.
Well, you know, it's our annual fundraising campaign, of course, over the holiday season. And we're really asking folks to think about lighting up hope and wonder over the holiday season. It's a wonderful tree that we have on offer. So individuals, families, businesses can get a tree, and every time they have a donation that is made, they can put on a little light and tag us on social media. It's a lot of fun and a great way to fundraise or food raise.
It's absolutely it is, and it's really cool to have this. I mean, we've seen this, the poster, the tree, get lit up year after year now, and it gives you kind of that tangible way to showcase that the donations are coming in.
It does, absolutely. This is a critical time of year for us, of course, and so a really fun way for folks to get involved in the community and to support the Food Bank and Learning Center.
Now, you mentioned tagging on the social medias. You also mentioned fundraising or food raising because money or non-perishable food items are always in need.
Absolutely, and it's easy to donate. If you're not donating with a tree, you can drop off your donation here. You can go go online, SaskatoonFoodBank.org, or, of course, at any grocery store.
There you go. It is just that simple. The Light It Up campaign is back on again. Of course, the website, SaskatoonFoodBank.org. And Jeremy, let me tell you, we got to get one of these trees down at CTV and start putting on the little lights.
I love a little festive merriment, and when it's for a great cause, it's even better, Mike. We'll see you again in just a little while.
All right, let's take a look at our school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. It's not a bad start to the day out there in Regina or Saskatoon. We're at -11 right now. By lunch, we'll be at -7 in Regina, and by final bell, sitting at that expected daytime high of -4. In Saskatoon, by lunch, -14, so a bit chilly. Definitely grab a jacket on your way out the door. Bundle up for those recess hours. By final bell, though, sitting at that expected daytime high of -10. That is slightly colder than the seasonal average for this time of year. Winds are going to be just a little bit stronger down towards the south today. And as we go to the break, let's take a look at these gas prices. The common price in Regina this morning, $129.9. The lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price, $117.9. The lowest you might find, though, is $105.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at $557.32 per ton, and the futures price at $617.50 per ton. Amber durum wheat at $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat at $245.19 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading down this morning. It's now at 72.15 cents US. After the break, we're going to be meeting a golden skating duo from Regina. Stay with us.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning. We begin with this. The Carney government has promised to double the pace of housing construction, but a new report is calling that into question. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver looks at why.
We need to get housing supply up. In fact, we need to double housing supply on an annual basis.
Prime Minister Mark Carney's campaign pledge to build nearly 500,000 homes annually so far isn't adding up. According to a new PBO report, Ottawa's new federal agency, Build Canada Homes, is projected to add 26,000 units to the housing supply over the next 5 years, a 2.1% increase over the fiscal watchdog's baseline projection for new home construction.
I think I would give them a C- when it comes to housing. That overall, I think they are moving in the right direction, but not at the speed and scale that's necessary.
The housing minister doesn't see things the same way. He says Build Canada Homes is just getting started and that the PBO's numbers don't tell the whole story.
I think that's just based on the raw number. It's not based on attracting a lot of investment from provinces, from the private sector.
By harnessing private and public sector funding, Ottawa intends to double the pace of housing construction. But so far, it hasn't released a clear plan to achieve that goal. And overall spending on housing, according to the PBO, is set to drop by 56% over the next 3 years as Trudeau-era programs expire.
A lot of the mechanisms that the federal government used weren't terribly effective in creating the affordable housing that people need the most. So I welcome the restart represented by Build Canada Homes, but we have to see a lot more.
The PBO report assumes that major programs like the $4.4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund will not be renewed or topped up. The finance minister, however, says it's not fair to prejudge what decisions the government will make between now and 2029. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Some snowbirds are rethinking their travel plans this year with confusion over new U.S. border crossing rules.
Yeah, except for I got to get fingerprinted, but I mean, the picture was okay, but the fingerprinted thing was a little bit excessive, I think.
Angela and Lee Faubert say their latest crossing in November was anything but routine. Lee was fingerprinted, his photo was taken, and he has to fill out an I-94 form in order to enter the U.S. But before his crossing, he was not told he needed that form. The I-94 is supposed to be filled out by Canadians who are going to the States for more than 30 days. But some Canadians who have already traveled there and filled out the forms correctly say they didn't need it. With the confusion and the changing political climate, Many Canadians say they're scrapping U.S. travel plans altogether. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump later this month to discuss the second phase of Trump's peace plan for Gaza.
We're about to finish the first stage. We're there, almost. But we have to make sure that we achieve the same results in the second stage, and that's something I look forward to discussing with President Trump.
Netanyahu also stated the second phase will begin once Hamas returns the remains of the last hostage being held in Gaza. Since the first phase of the U.S.-endorsed ceasefire, it was declared on October 10th, violence has decreased but not stopped in Gaza. Russia unleashed another deadly overnight attack across Ukraine with more than 240 drones and 5 missiles striking main energy and transport infrastructure. This comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says peace talks with U.S. officials Saturday were constructive but not easy. He is expected to meet with European leaders today. More trouble for the famed Louvre Museum. The Paris landmark revealing a water leak in late November has damaged several hundreds of works in the museum's Egyptian wing. The damaged items date from late 19th to 20th centuries, but officials say no heritage artifacts were impacted. It comes just weeks after the Louvre fell victim to a brazen daylight jewel heist. Those jewels have yet to be recovered. A Regina figure skating pair celebrated a Skate Canada Challenge gold medal. Tristan Taylor and Miyu Yanoki won gold in the senior pair category last weekend in Calgary. They've been paired up for about a year now, and this was their third real competition.
We had some injuries going into kind of the first couple of weeks of training for this one, but overcoming that and then again coming out and winning was really, really special for us.
Our goal is going to 4 continents and World Championships.
Mm-hmm.
Their next goal is to one day qualify for the World Championships. One of Canada's oldest mechanical Christmas displays is back for another season in Saskatoon. Here's a look at the Once Upon a Christmas exhibit at Saskatoon's Western Development Museum. Most of what you see here was built in 1946 with surplus materials from the Second World War.
What's interesting is you look through the original display and there's no reference to Rudolph. Because he never existed until 1947 when Burl Ives sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And this built.
Along with the knowledge of the displays, Randall Simpson is handy. He's the reason the nearly 80-year-old display is still active. He has no mechanical training but is constantly crawling under the displays to make those repairs. And God bless him for doing so. Let's get over to the Weather Center, and you got all kinds of color on that map, which means all kinds of cold.
Yeah, well, if we pay attention to the color gradient here, of course, we're still seeing some colder temperatures up towards the north, and then down through the south we're seeing the warmer temperatures. It's right around though the southwest where we are seeing all those blue colors, where we're still continuing to see the warmest temperatures. That has continued on from that trend last week. Up towards the north, Stony Rapids at -26 right now, La Ronge -17, -13 in Prince Albert, and -17 in Hudson Bay. Again, down towards the south is where we're seeing warmer temperatures, right around Assiniboia where we're at -1 right now, -2 for Swift Current, a little bit colder down through East End, -7. -12 through Weyburn this hour, -13 in Yorkton and Estevan. So not a bad start to the day, although we did see some flurries around Saskatoon and Regina a little bit earlier on this morning. That system is slowly but surely pushing away from both of those two major cities. Prince Albert, though, still seeing some of those flurries this morning. Also going to be seeing those flurries Yorkton and down through Estevan before pushing off for the later parts of the morning around Estevan. Yorkton still going to be seeing it into the early parts of the afternoon. Also some areas far up north. We are expecting the majority of that system to push into Manitoba into the afternoon hours. Just some areas right north of Prince Albert still going to be seeing just a few light flurries. And then it's overnight that we're looking towards where we see some of that green and pink coming in with that snow. That's all those purple spots that you're seeing there. But Regina, we're expecting to be seeing some frozen ice pellets overnight, which sounds extremely unpleasant for our commute tomorrow morning, especially especially when we're talking about some of this snow coming in for the afternoon and really packing it down. So the commute tomorrow, not going to be as pleasant as what we're seeing out there this morning. Into the evening hours as well tomorrow, we're still seeing some more of those flurries right around Yorkton and Estevan. And this is going to continue on into Wednesday as well. So how much snow by the end of the day today? Well, Prince Albert seeing about 3 more centimeters, Yorkton about 6 more centimeters, and Estevan could be seeing about 1 more centimeter. And then these numbers do jump up quite a bit as we look forward to about 6 p.m. tomorrow. By that time, Yorkton will have seen about 21 centimeters of snow, Regina about 5, Moose Jaw about 2, and Saskatoon about 12 more centimeters. We're also talking about the winds. They're not as bad today, other than down in the southeast corner where we could be seeing them up to about 40 kilometers per hour. It's actually tomorrow that we're talking about. The winds are going to be going up quite a bit. Regina could be seeing them up to about 65 kilometers per hour. So that snow is actually going to be blowing. And Saskatoon, a little bit less, but still elevated from what we're seeing today, up to about 45 kilometers per hour.
We've made it down to Auto Mobility Medical right here in Regina. Of course, I've got Sherry with me. Now, Sherry, thanks so much for having us. We are talking all about scooters, of course, today.
Yes, we are. We're talking about the portable scooters. We have a bunch coming in and from California, and they're amazing. So they're very portable. They just fold down in one piece. This time of year, a lot of our customers are either going to their winter vacation homes or they're going on cruises, and these are the most perfect thing to take on a vacation or a cruise. You can drive them right up to the airplane. The baggage handlers will take them, put them in the belly of the plane, and then they will have them ready for you when the plane arrives at your destination. And when you're getting off the plane, they'll be sitting there waiting for you.
Fantastic. Well, that is easy enough. People should be grabbing these, especially if you're heading out on vacation. Now, tell me a little bit about how you guys right here help people choose what is right for them.
Okay, so first it's got to fit them. They have to be comfortable. So we do have some that are not, they don't fold down, but they do break apart. So as you see, this one here has like kind of foot channels in it. So you have to be a certain height. And same with that one, you have to be a certain height. You have a little more leniency with that one. But we do have one that you can actually put your feet out the front. And so that one fits the majority of people, but it is a take apart.
Okay, Sherry, and if somebody's looking to come down, where can they find you guys?
They can find us at 1444 Lawrence Street, and Dewdney is now opened, so you don't have to come down 8th. You can actually get here off of Dewdney or off of 8th.
Right. All right. So there really is something for everybody here. It's a matter of putting in the time. Sherry, thank you so much for having us today.
You are so welcome.
All right. That wraps things up for us down at Auto Mobility Medical. Make sure you're coming out, checking out these snazzy new rides.
Behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which will be to all people.
60 years ago this week, A Charlie Brown Christmas made its television debut in Canada on CTV. It was the first ever Peanuts animated special. Half the population in North America tuned in to watch.
Oh. Everything I touch gets ruined.
The classic was then broadcast every year before becoming available on VHS, then DVD, then download. You can also stream it now on Apple TV.
It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love. Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice treat.
Christmas is right around the corner, and with that, sometimes comes holiday stress. But Janelle Pai's at Bodhi Tree Yoga this morning to learn a few healthy ways to combat that stressful feeling. Good morning, Janelle.
Good morning, Jeremy. That's right. We've got some great tips and tricks here for you this morning. I've got Colin Hall with me. Now, Colin, we are sitting in our car, I as the driver, you as my passenger. Yeah, switching the stations over here. So when situations like that arise, or we're going through traffic, getting a little frustrated with some of that busyness, how can people de-stress?
I mean, the roads are busier. Sometimes there's more people out there shopping, so you'll end up needing to have a bunch of things on your list that you have to get done, and sometimes you're stuck. You can't move, but that's out of your hands, right? You can't control that. So rather than wishing you were someplace, best just to sit down, take a few breaths. What I like to do, you can try this. Instead of looking directly at the TV right now, look at your whole room. Just like relax your eyes so you can see your whole room, including the TV. Then breath in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. So just with me, okay? Ready?
Ready.
Just like that. It's so simple. This is the thing. People expect they're going to do something complicated. There's going to be some technique you have to do, but really, it's what you would do naturally if you were just going to take it easy and relax a little bit. That's it. But do that when you're stressed out, not when you're relaxed. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, that makes sense. This is a fantastic idea. Now, we're going to get a little bit more into some of those positions coming up here later on in the morning. But follow these examples, Colin. This is a great idea. Thank you so much. You and I are going to be back very soon.
Time for our Monday morning weather or not. Are you both ready?
I'm prepared.
Okay, so your question today is, what is a squamish? Is it A, a town in BC, B, a name of a wind, C, a cousin of the Sasquatch, or D, a big snowstorm?
Okay, so I know that A is accurate. Squamish is a town in BC for sure.
Yes,
so
I have
A
been
is
there.
right. But since this is a weather trivia, I'm going to say B. I think it's a name of a wind.
And Jeremy?
Yeah, that sounds, I'm going to go with that as well.
Well, that's what's helpful is that Director Corey jumped the gun on throwing the graphic up there.
Okay.
It is.
Wow.
We tried to throw you for a loop. It's a trick question. The answer is A and B, a town in BC, and the name of a wind. A squamish is a strong and often violent wind occurring in many of the fjords, inlets, and valleys of BC. They blow cold polar air that can result in extreme wind chills and changing conditions.
Better there than here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's December 8th, and we have 2 milestones to share with you today. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Reese. She's celebrating her sweet 16. We hope it's a great one. This shout out coming with lots of love from your Nan. And turning 33 today is Carissa. Happy birthday to you. Have a great day and a great year ahead with lots of love from all of your friends and family. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen, but please make sure you send those in at least one day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
I know your answer to this question is all of them because you don't love Christmas music especially, but if you had a number one, it comes on the radio and you're jamming the button, what song is it?
Okay, so actually I have a couple that I like. The Grinch by the Hunter Brothers.
Okay.
That one is fantastic. And then you know what? I will go back to I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas each and every time. And that one a lot of people hate. Or 12 Days of Christmas by Doug and Bob McKenzie. Those ones I absolutely love. We got a Christmas song coming on in just a couple seconds here too. That could get you some platinum standing passes for Country Thunder. So get us going with the iHeartRadio app. And then we'll continue to get into the Christmas spirit. Next hour we are shaking the tree at 7:40. Remember, you get to keep everything that falls out. If it Timbers. You lose everything. I will give you a little bit of a clue, though. What's coming up at 7:40? One of the prizes will be some Johnny Reid tickets for this week at Connexus for his Christmas show. So if you're into Christmas music, that's one that's falling out for sure. Don't shake it too much, though, because then you could lose out on that.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks, Chase. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Daryl. See you next hour.
Podcasts are the medium of the moment.
Daddy gang, can you hear me?
This one's a crazy story.
Roughly 115 million Americans consume them every week. That's approaching Super Bowl numbers. So who are we listening to? Studies show it's mostly white men.
Across the top 100 podcasts, it tilts primarily male. Only 36% of all hosts are women behind the mic.
Dominating the charts this year, podcasters who have become household names like Theo Vaughn, Shane Gillis, and in the #1 spot, Joe Rogan.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Who are they interviewing? Women make up just 18% of guests on podcasts hosted by men. That's even lower for women of color.
Only 7% of the top 100 podcast hosts are women of color. There's a lot of folks whose needs and interests aren't being met.
Experts say when one group dominates the mic, it creates echo chambers, leaving out opposing or differing views. Research suggests algorithms often favor established male-hosted shows, making it harder for new voices to break through. Meanwhile, as podcasts shape more of our culture, they're being recognized for the first time at a major award show, the Golden Globes. A major step for an industry some say deserve more respect.
There's been this unwillingness to really embrace it because anyone can just grab a podcast microphone, sit on a camera, and start talking and call themselves a podcaster.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Sidebar begins with a pup that's got its own problems. Here's one. If you read the captions, it gets a little bit better. Hammy's owner seeking some emotional support after realizing he's got his own issues to work on. Sometimes your therapy dog needs his own support dog.
What is the captions? Oh, where's my legs?
Where's my legs? Oh, there's one. It's just a little loaf.
Oh, cute. I like that one. All right. Here's an annual tradition that has been carried out in Krakow, Poland. Am I saying that wrong? Their annual nativity scene competition was a big hit once again. Hundreds of people took part, where contestants create models of the city's historic buildings as a backdrop for the nativity. Some were made by kids with pizza boxes and aluminum foil, but others were elaborate, made by model makers. This event is even recognized by UNESCO.
There you go.
Oh, wow. World Heritage.
Yeah.
Look at the color.
Yeah, a lot of talent there to create those.
I can't even draw like a whale.
A little stick person, I struggle with that.
Draw a person, my goodness. Okay, JD, you got time for one more?
All right, chess match. And this one left its competitors breathless. Some of the top chess grandmasters in the world are in Cape Town for the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam. But before the competition begins, you do the diving chess competition.
Oh, of course you do.
That's chess underwater, right?
Makes sense.
Of course you do.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Sure.
Why do we have to make it harder? It's already a hard game.
Oh, brain broken. Time out. Back after this. It's Monday, December 8th.
There are people that have booked flights. It is a responsibility for Air Transat to look after these passengers.
A potential travel nightmare with Air Transat pilots issuing a strike notice ahead of the holiday season.
Will you restart negotiations with Canada?
Oh, look, I have a great relationship with Canada. They're very tough traders, but I have a very good relationship with the Prime Minister and with Canada.
U.S. President non-committal on whether to restart trade negotiations with Canada.
Dominic Peters for the Blades. Moving in, a shot. Hutchison stands tall. The Pats come up with the puck instead, and here's Julian Mays in over the Blades line. Through, Paredes shoots and scores.
The Regina Pats hand the Blades their 5th loss in a row. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Frosty Monday. Make sure you start your car, give yourself some extra time, and toques and mitts and the whole deal.
Yeah, and going to be colder as we look towards the rest of the week. So just enjoy it right now while we still can.
And we're still looking for your least favorite Christmas song. You can text that to 10400 or you can email it over to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. We got a front runner yet?
It's anything by Mariah Carey.
Oh, really?
They just say they have to switch the channel.
Thought her out for Christmas and still #1, but you're skipping it. All right, let's get over to the news part of the show. U.S. President Donald Trump says Canada and the U.S. will eventually work out their differences.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, the problem is Canada makes a lot of things that we don't need because we make them also. But we'll work it out. Look, Canada's a special place, and they really are good at ice hockey, aren't they? Mr. President.
Trump commented on the talks as he held a brief meeting with Mark Carney at the FIFA draw. Trump canceled trade negotiations in Canada in October over that Ontario advertisement. Air Transat will begin canceling flights today as the airline's pilots issue a 72-hour strike notice.
Trying to bring compensation up to date along with our pension, the benefits, and also one of the most important items, job security.
Pilots voted 99% in favor of a strike and can take action as early as Wednesday. The two sides have been negotiating for nearly a year now. The union says the pilots have been without an agreement since 2015. The union says contract talks have stalled over pay and working conditions, but the airline argues it's already offered significant raises. Some snowbirds rethinking their travel plans this year with confusion over new U.S. border rules.
It was good, except for I got to get fingerprinted But I mean, the picture was okay, but the fingerprinted thing was a little bit excessive, I think.
Angela and Lee Faubert, who you heard from there, saying their latest crossing in November was anything but routine. Lee was fingerprinted, his photo was taken, and he had to fill out an I-94 form in order to enter the U.S. But before his crossing, he was told he didn't need to fill it out. The I-94 form was supposed to be filled out by Canadians who are going to spend more than 30 days in the States, but some Canadians who have already traveled to the U.S. say they didn't have to fill that out at all. With the confusion and changing political climate, many Canadians say they are scrapping U.S. travel plans altogether. 4 people were taken to hospital in Regina after a weekend fire. This one happened on the 1000 block of Angus Street just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. Firefighters say it was contained to the main floor of the home. 4 occupants were taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause remains under investigation. Let's bring in Jeremy Dodge now for an update on a death investigation happening in Prince Albert. JD.
Good morning, Daryl. Prince Albert police investigating a death from over the weekend in the Gateway City. Police called to a home on 18th Street Saturday afternoon after a theft was called in. Police found the body of a man inside. Prince Albert Police Major Crimes Unit's investigating. An autopsy scheduled for today. One of Canada's oldest mechanical Christmas displays is back for another season in Saskatoon. For decades, families have made it part of their holiday tradition, thanks to the work of one busy volunteer. CTV's Laura Woodward explains.
This is where the magic happens, Randall Simpson's workshop. But unlike Santa, he's not building toys. He's fixing the Once Upon a Christmas display.
The majority of what you see here was built in 1946.
Originally commissioned by the Eaton's department store, built with war surplus materials and shown in Winnipeg. Over the years, it's traveled across the country until 1977, when it was consolidated at the Saskatoon Eaton store, later acquired by the Western Development Museum, where it's been a holiday fixture for 38 years.
What's interesting is you look through the original display, and there's no reference to Rudolph. because he never existed until 1947 when Burl Ives sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
One of Simpson's favorite displays is Pumpkinhead, the sad little bear, created by the same Canadian cartoonist behind Bugs Bunny.
His story is that he's got a bad hair day and all the other bears make fun of him, but he's the only one that can wear a special hat to go with Santa on his sleigh.
Behind each little movement is a lot of mechanical work.
It's really, really simple technology. There's no electronics in this whatsoever. Everything's mechanically run.
And some of the belts are still the 80-year-old originals.
I am primarily involved in maintaining and keeping it running because it does break down a lot.
And Simpson does all of it without any formal mechanical training.
I was raised by a father who was born on a farm and has a economic gene in him, and he instilled that with me. And so anything I can do myself, I do, because I got more time than money.
And it's Simpson's dedication that keeps this Christmas tradition running. Laurel Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, Regina also getting into the Christmas spirit.
An extremely large Christmas tree, Jeremy, was unveiled at the Legislative Building, towering over 20 feet high and featuring thousands of lights. Wayne Mantica reports.
MLAs sang carols at the Legislative Building as the new Christmas tree was unveiled. It's the centerpiece in the rotunda, where visitors and MLAs pass through daily. The Premier paused to admire the tree while talking to reporters.
I'll appreciate Christmas this year.
The artificial tree stands over 20 feet tall and is somewhat larger than the one it replaces. The previous tree had worn out after years of assembly and disassembly. MLAs took turns using the new tree as a backdrop for recording their Christmas messages.
I love the new tree. I love the bright lights, and I love all the poinsettias and the holiday cheer. I think we should have a big holiday event. I know Manitoba's legislature has an open house at the holiday season and brings folks in. So, yeah, I love the Christmas spirit in the legislature.
The tree will be on public display throughout December as part of daily public tours of the building. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Chilly weekend for the 35th annual Santa Shuffle, by the way. 200 people walked or ran along the 5-kilometer run or 1-kilometer walk route, many of them in costumes. It's become a holiday tradition to support families in need.
Today, I think we have over 200 individuals registered for the Santa Shuffle. Out here having a great time in wonderful costumes, running with friends and family and pets, and really making a difference in their community by showing up and doing an event like this together.
Organizers already looking ahead to next year. Canadian Blood Services say they're looking for more plasma donors ahead of the holidays. The organization calls plasma liquid gold, saying it can support patients having cancer treatments or surgeries. They also say many regular blood and plasma donors may take the holidays off, so they're asking for new donors to step up. CBS says plasma donations are similar to blood donations. They just take a little longer. The process is largely the same. They say they need 1 million new plasma donors as they expect a 50% rise in demand at the holiday time over the next 5 years. Have you ever heard of a repair cafe? This was held at the Heritage Market in Regina on Saturday. You can bring any of your broken appliances, clothing, or electronics down and have them looked at. They've done this about once a month in Regina.
It's the excitement of finally taking it apart and finding the problem, putting it back together, and realizing it works.
When I was young, my dad told me that I should start learning how to fix stuff around the house, and eventually just started buying stuff online to fix that were broken, and been doing it for probably about 7 years now, 6 years, since I was about 16 years old, so it's been a while.
According to the chair of the Enviro Collective Network, which is that group there, 69% of items get fixed and typically take between 30 minutes and 2 hours. The Regina Pats picked up a big road win against the Saskatoon Blades Sunday.
Dominic Peter for the Blades, moving in, a shot. Hutchison stands tall. The Pats come up with the puck instead, and here's Julian Mays in over the Blades line. Through, Paredes shoots and scores.
That's Les Lazaruk on the call. The legend Michael Hutchinson scored his first career shutout, and Ruslan Karamov and Julian Mays each had a goal and 2 assists. Pats beat the Blades 4-0. Real winner on the day is the Cooperall setup that the Blades had going on. That is fantastic. But they've lost 5 in a row now. 5 in a row. Let's get over to the Weather Center and join Keely and Sawatsky. The weather alerts keep cropping up in all parts of Saskatchewan here.
Yeah, so we're talking all about the snow that is on the way. Not quite for this afternoon, but we are talking about more snow on the way for tomorrow, and that does come with some freezing rain as well down towards the south. Today, though, Saskatoon and Regina likely has seen the snow. We saw some flakes earlier on this morning. We're still talking about some snow for Prince Albert and areas around Yorkton for the afternoon today, though, so keep that in mind. In Regina right now, we're at -11. We do have some clouds right now and some winds coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we're not really talking about the winds right now, but we are talking about the clouds, and that we're currently sitting at -12. The winds for now staying fairly low in most places. The highest winds we're seeing today are around Regina and Estevan. That could be just barely surpassing 40 kilometers per hour. What we are talking about, though, is the winds going up significantly for the day tomorrow, specifically down towards the south. We're talking about some winds up to about 60 to 65 kilometers per hour. So that means the snow tomorrow is going to be blowing. It's not going to be an ideal travel day tomorrow. Today, though, as I mentioned, most of the system pushing away from Saskatoon and Regina now. Still seeing some around Prince Albert, Yorkton, down through Estevan. Estevan isn't going to be seeing it into the late afternoon hours, but Yorkton still could be seeing the last little bit of that system. Also talking about some more of those flurries up north into the late afternoon hours. And then again, a larger system coming in for the day tomorrow, bringing snow to Saskatoon first. Regina, most likely going to be seeing that freezing rain or those frozen ice pellets overnight. Tomorrow's commute, not really going to be super pleasant, especially when we talk about later on in the morning, those ice pellets are going to be packed down by some more snow into the afternoon hours. We're also talking about some snow on the way for the following day on Wednesday and potentially into Thursday as well. So we are talking about that snow this week and temperatures going down as we go towards the end of the work week. For today, though, a lot of places are still going to be above the seasonal average. For perspective for you, that's about -7. So Moose Jaw -3 today. That's above the average. Weyburn and Estevan above that average. Regina -4. Saskatoon slightly below the average, -10. And then as we talked about, temperatures are going to be going down on Thursday night, -27 overnight. And then Friday only peaking at -26. And that's not even factoring in the wind chill yet. So the colder temperatures are on the way. Saskatoon still talking about some of that snow carrying us through until Thursday, and then dropping down to -28 on Friday afternoon. Let's take a look at our rural forecast now. We are seeing a few flakes up on your screen there around Melfort, Hudson Bay, Wynyard. Going to be seeing the last little bit of that system that we saw overnight. So a few more centimeters expected there. -11 for Melfort and Hudson Bay, -10 this afternoon for Wynyard, and -7 for Outlook. Down towards the south, we are seeing some higher winds up to about 45 kilometers per hour. So Rockland up to 0 with those winds. Assiniboia up to -1. Carlisle -4 and -6 for Broadview. Again, seeing the last little bit of that system into the later parts of the morning and then pushing off for the afternoon. Let's focus in on now towards the west over in Etonia, where the high today going to be about -3, so not as low. The average this time of year is about -7, so not bad. Overnight we are expecting some freezing rain, and today we're seeing some of those winds later on in the afternoon up to about 30 kilometers per hour.
Let's go back out to Mike Siona now, who is learning about the need the Saskatoon Food Bank is striving to fill. Mike, there continues to be a big demand?
Yes, unfortunately, that's the reality, is that there does continue to be a big demand for services at food banks here in Saskatoon. I'm with Caitlin Coulter, who is the manager of the food bank program here. Give us some statistics, as grim as they might be, but how much usage is there?
On a daily basis, we are seeing about 1,200 people on average, 24,000 or so a month. We've seen increases over the past 5 years, obviously. A lot of organizations have. Since last year, we're 2-3%. Yeah,
and food prices keep going up, and we see the impact of it. And it is across all walks of life. I mean, you never know who's going to be using it.
No, that's right. And I mean, we're serving mostly people who are on a fixed income, right? That's going to be the biggest struggle. So we see seniors, we see students, anyone on a pension, a limited pension, or then, of course, families that are receiving social services income. So unfortunately, that's not enough in most cases. And we do see a lot of families, almost 40% are kids, as you know. So that need is growing every day and not forecasted to change.
Too bad. Now, obviously, we are in the midst of the Light It Up campaign and trying to raise awareness, raise funds, and raise food. In about 20 seconds, because that's all the time we have left here, what are some of the biggest categories of need in terms of donations?
Anything that packs a punch nutritionally. We're looking at whole grain cereals, rice, canned protein, stews or hearty soups are always really welcome. Anything that can be made into a meal for a family. Kids, can eat cereal 3 meals a day. I know I can too. So, those are always going to be welcome here at the food bank.
There you go. Well, thank you very much for a couple of minutes. We'll keep talking about it and give you again a rehash of everything to do with the Light It Up campaign a little later this morning.
Wonderful. Mike, thank you so much. We'll see you in just a little while.
Hello there, Jermaine Franklin here with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for that, we'll head to Western New York. Bengals, Bills, late fourth Joe Burrow to T. Higgins, and he comes up with an outstanding one-handed catch for the touchdown. That's one of the best catches you'll see this season. He finished with 2 tutties in this one, but in a losing effort. However, Higgins still earns your must-see moment from Sunday. Tonight on TSN, Week 14 of the NFL season wraps up with Monday Night Football as the Eagles visit the Chargers. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern across the TSN network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
In case you missed it, Norway's University of Bergen has unveiled the academic gingerbread town.
This is the academic gingerbread town. The University of Bergen invited students and staff all together to build this gingerbread town to celebrate academic freedom and also, of course, the freedom of expression.
Okay, so it features nearly 200 gingerbread creations, all along the theme of academic freedom, diversity, and democracy. Sounds fun. Yeah. If I think fun, I think democracy, freedom. It's built up of 300 kilos of dough, and it's meant to be edible expressions of values that define university and its global academic community. So it's nice.
It's turning education into something fun and colorful.
Just yum. Just calories. Everybody knows democratic calories don't count at Christmas time. Question of the day is where we go to next, and it is we're asking what Christmas song is an instant skip for you. And I went online and found USA Today's updated list of the top 5 most hated Christmas songs.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because we don't have a lot of answers on the big board. Number 5, New Kids on the Block, Funky Funky Christmas. You probably don't know that one.
It's so bad.
It's bad. It's bad, but it's like so bad that it's good.
Awful.
4 is Jessica and Ashley Simpson's Little Drummer Boy.
No, that one rocks. Don't slander that one.
I knew that was going to happen.
I don't know that one.
Number 3 is a group called New Song, and the song is called The Christmas Shoes. I don't know that one.
I know that one.
You do?
Yes.
Is it bad?
No.
Does it reach number 3 on the all-time list?
It's a special song in the sense that it makes you sad.
Okay, number 2 is Elmo and Patsy singing Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. My mom used to think that was funny until she became a grandma, so I get it. Right?
Okay, all right.
And number one might surprise you is Alvin and the Chipmunks, Christmas Don't Be Late.
No, that's my favorite.
Oh, come on.
That's what
that's got nostalgic.
They surveyed a few thousand people. That's what they came up with on our big board. People are all just hating on Mariah Carey.
It's this, when I said that this is the front runner, what I meant by that is this is the only answer that has come in through our text line so far. Santa Baby and Anything by Mariah Carey. Tracy saying Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas. It's just so played, it's outplayed. And then another one saying All I Want for Christmas is nonstop torture.
So
everywhere you go.
You all love hippopotamuses for Christmas. And if you don't, you can text us at 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code that we've had on your screen for way too long. Time for your morning mystery. Producer Nathan didn't even give us a clue as to what it is. So we're going to get 3 clues. Oh, now I'm being told it's a song. Number 1, the lyrics of this song do not reference Christmas.
Okay, that could be a lot of songs.
Ironically, it was written during a heat wave in Southern California. And clue number 3, before Dean Martin recorded his iconic version in 1966, his Rat Pack buddy Frank Sinatra released his own single in 1950, covers Rod Stewart, Michael Bublé, and 98 Degrees.
Oh.
I think I know this because I've heard the first fact about it. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
I got nothing, but I also want to give a shout out while you're both writing your answers, because I don't know, I'm putting a big old question mark here, but shout out to producer Nathan, who today when I said, is it going to be another song for the morning mystery, he said no.
Did he say no?
Yeah, he told me no.
I went with the only Michael Bublé song I know, Christmas Baby, Please Come Home. I think it's too new for Frank Sinatra. Let's see what the answer is. Let It Snow. Let It Snow is correct.
Yes.
Jeremy Dodge, our big winner today.
It said it doesn't reference Christmas, Daryl.
Fair.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Let's take a look at our school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're still at -11. Just below that in Saskatoon, -12. By lunchtime, Regina at -7, with winds coming in up to about 35 kilometers per hour at that time. -14 by lunch in Saskatoon. A nice mix of sun and cloud by that time. Final bell in Regina at that expected daytime high of -4. And in Saskatoon, the expected daytime high, -10. We'll see that by final bell. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. 129.9 is the common price. The lowest you might find, though, is 102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price this morning is 117.9. The lowest you might find is 105.9. The farm markets this morning showing that the street price of canola is at 557.32 per ton, and the futures price at 617.50 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at 282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat at 245.19 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading down. We're now at 72.15 cents US. Coming up after the break, how those in Saskatoon got some physical activity in alongside their Christmas shopping. Stay with us for the details.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning. It is 7:29. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will meet with the U.S. President later this month to discuss the second phase of the peace plan.
We're about to finish the first stage. We're there, almost. But we have to make sure that we achieve the same results in the second stage, and that's something I look forward to discussing with President Trump.
Netanyahu also stated the second phase will begin once Hamas returns the remains of the last hostage being held in Gaza. Since the first phase of the UN-endorsed ceasefire on October 10th, violence has decreased but not stopped in Gaza. Russia unleashed another deadly attack overnight across Ukraine with more than 240 drones and 5 missiles striking main energy and transport infrastructure. This comes as Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says peace talks with the U.S. officials Saturday were constructive but not easy, and is expected to meet with European leaders today. South of the border, the Trump administration is facing growing calls to release a full video of its September airstrikes in the Caribbean. Nicole D'Antonio reports.
This morning, growing pressure on the Trump administration to release the full video of those September strikes on an alleged drug boat that killed 11 people, including 2 people who initially survived.
It's really important that people see what it looks like when the full force of the United States military is turned on 2 guys who are clinging to a piece of wood.
Congressman Jim Hines, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee who has seen the footage, says the attack could have violated international law. Republicans defending the attack.
It looked at one point like they were trying to flip the boat back over, presumably to rescue its cargo and continue their mission.
A source tells ABC News that after the initial strike, the video shows the survivors clinging for their lives to the wreckage of the overturned boat, appearing incapacitated and waving to something overhead. Another source says roughly 40 minutes after that first attack, the military struck again, killing those survivors. President Trump last week saying he supports the release of the full video.
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem.
But Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth less decisive.
We're reviewing that right now.
This morning, growing questions over the legality of the operation. The U.S. has hit more than 20 suspected drug boats since September, killing nearly 80 people. So far, the administration has not shown evidence they were actually smuggling drugs. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Thousands of people are fleeing the Thailand-Cambodia border as fighting has erupted between those countries. The Thai army says more than 50,000 people have left areas near the border for shelters. Cambodia's information minister is reporting tens of thousands of residents have been displaced from several villages near the border. The latest round of clashes has killed at least 1 Thai soldier and 4 Cambodian civilians. Both sides have accused each other of starting the violence, which is the most serious confrontation between the 2 nations since they agreed to a ceasefire in July. A wildlife photographer in Alberta is still in awe after spotting a barn owl in South Calgary.
I think my head almost exploded. It was actually mind-boggling. For it to just randomly show up in a park in Alberta was pretty shocking and cool. That was really cool.
Seeing a barn owl in Alberta is rare, adding Brendan Clark's shock. These owls normally live in southern parts of BC and Ontario and are considered threatened and endangered in those regions. Experts believe the barn owl flew in from the west, but are hoping it leaves and flies somewhere warmer before it gets too cold. Those in Saskatoon were able to get some holiday shopping done along with some physical activity. The 2nd annual Paksong Pinoy Night was held in combination with Saskatchewan's first minor league pickleball event. More than 20 local vendors were at the event, so watching pickleball could be done while they did some shopping. Now, the event's organizers shared that the idea came from his passion for the sport and desire to bring in aspects of traditional night market to Saskatoon.
Pickleball has always been a social type of environment, and you know, we want people to have fun, enjoy food, do some shopping. We want you to shop and play at Topspin, you know, and be able to, like, you know, eat, gather, hang out, watch some pickleball, eat some food, get some Christmas gifts, so, you know, all in one place.
There you go. The organizer says he hopes to bring the event back for many years to come. More than 150 figure skaters from across Canada competed in the 2025 Skate Canada Challenge in Calgary last weekend, many bringing medals back to their hometowns, including Regina. Sierra D'Souza Butts reports.
Merging their talents from Japan and Canada, this figure skating duo brought gold back to the prairies.
We had some injuries going into kind of the first couple of weeks of training for this one, but overcoming that and then again coming out and winning was really, really special for us.
Participating in the 2025-26 Skate Canada Challenge in Calgary, Tristan Taylor and Miyu Yanoki finished first in the senior pair competition.
We're just starting to get into that flow of just knowing where each other are at all times and just feeling comfortable with each other on the ice all the time. So it's more just how long you've been skating together is how that builds up.
After trying out at a training center in Colorado Springs in 2024, the two were paired up by a national and international figure skating coach.
They had a lot of great qualities kind of right away, just a really similar timing,
similar way of like pacing their skills, attack to their elements. And so those things were all really helpful.
With the team being fairly new, Meekin says this was the pair's third real competition, stating it usually takes years for a team to get comfortable with one another.
The fact that they're already able to deliver something, worthy of a win shows that they're a serious team, and they really want to go after some big results as we move into the next sort of quad and the second half of this season even.
Our goal is going to 4 continents and World Championships.
Next year, the duo is hoping to take their talent to the international stage with the goal of competing at the World Championships and maybe one day the Winter Olympics. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
All right, well, I'm pretty sure at some point here in some Saskatchewan communities, you can do some figure skating on the main streets.
Yeah, well, actually overnight down towards the south tonight, we're expecting to be seeing some of that freezing rain. So the streets tomorrow are going to be icy. This morning, we did see just a few flakes earlier on. It does seem like that system has pushed away from the major cities, Saskatoon and Regina. Not really expecting to see more of that snow today. Areas that are going to be seeing it, though, Prince Albert, around Yorkton as well. So we're not quite done with that system yet. Temperatures, though, not so bad. You can see that color gradient behind me here. We are seeing some warmer temperatures down towards the southwest this morning. Up towards the north, though, that's where we're seeing it quite a bit colder. -26 in Stony Rapids, -13 in Prince Albert, -14 right now to wake us up in Nipawin, and -17 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, -5 in Swift Current, -2 in Assiniboia, and -11 in areas around Moose Jaw, Regina, Weyburn, and Estevan. Saskatoon waking up to -12 right now. Winds not so bad today. We are seeing them elevated in areas around Regina and Estevan, just barely surpassing 40 kilometers per hour. However, it's tomorrow that we're talking about the winds going up quite a bit. We're also talking about some more snow on the way tomorrow, and that snow is going to be blowing, especially in Regina, where we're going to be seeing winds up to about 65 kilometers per hour. Now, for the rest of the day today, we are talking about that system pushing out of the province into Manitoba. Prince Albert and areas just north of it going to be seeing some more of that snow into the afternoon hours before that pushes away. And then it's overnight that we see this larger system coming in from Alberta, and it is going to be bringing some rain to areas down in the south, freezing rain around Regina, and actually frozen ice pellets coming down overnight and into early tomorrow. And then some more snow in areas around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Yorkton, down through Estevan as well. Into the afternoon hours, we see the rain portion disappearing and just bringing some more flurries. Again, Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Regina, and Yorkton, all areas that we're expecting to see those flurries tomorrow afternoon. So keep that in mind if you are planning to travel anywhere. By the end of the day today, we're seeing about 2 more centimeters for Prince Albert and about 6 centimeters expected for Yorkton, 1 centimeter expected down through Estevan today. But take a look at how these numbers jump as we look forward to tomorrow. So again, more snow on the way, most of that going to be falling tomorrow. Yorkton going to be seeing up to about 21 centimeters of snow by the end of the day tomorrow. Now, today's forecast with those temperatures not looking so bad, especially considering we see these take a nosedive by the end of this week. So again, enjoy these temperatures while they last above the seasonal average in areas around Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Weyburn, Estevan, and Regina.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
Christmas is is rapidly approaching, which means family gatherings are near, and those can be made harder for people experiencing hearing loss. For some advice on how to navigate these challenges, we welcome in Candace Fisher from Fisher Hearing. Good morning.
Good morning.
I can't imagine how hard this would be to have the hearing loss at the Christmas gatherings with so many people.
Yeah, it's the busiest time, and everybody's in a hurry, and there's so many people, and we're just not used to that. So it can be a very challenging time for those with hearing loss.
And I know a lot of people have already been set up with the hearing aids, though, and that's our first tip as we head into the holidays, right?
Yeah, it sure is. If you have hearing aids, make sure you wear them. They really do help to separate a little bit that speech and noise, and every little bit we get that separation, it makes it a lot easier. So if you've got your hearing aids, I know you're wearing them all day, every day.
Something else I want to talk about this morning is the background noise, because at Christmas gatherings, there's always going to be chatter here and Christmas music over there, and there's always going to be the background noise. What can we do to help people that are hard of hearing at our Christmas gatherings?
Yeah, it's an excellent point. We need to eliminate or try and reduce it as much as possible. We all love having the Christmas carols going. They're in the stores, they're in our house. We can't control other environments, but in the house when people are coming, turn them off. Turn the TV off, turn the radio off. Hood fans, we don't think about it, but that is a loud sound source. So anything that you can do to try and minimize that background noise, the better. And even just try and get away from it. If you and I are talking and the kitchen's really busy, if I have a hearing loss, I might try and pull you over to that quiet corner or to the couch where we can have a little bit better chat.
So that's something that hosts can do to help out people with hearing loss this holiday season. Yeah. What about the people who are actually experiencing the hearing loss? What can they tell people? How can they communicate to them that, hey, let's change a few things to make this a little easier on you?
Yeah, and the first thing I think is, we've discussed this before, how hearing loss is the invisible handicap. So you really do need to let people know. They don't know this. So when I say to you, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble, I've got a bit of a hearing loss, could you repeat that? Or do you mind saying that again? It's easier in our family somehow, but at the grocery store, think of how busy the stores are. You know, you go anywhere now, it is packed. It is a lot harder to hear. There is absolutely no problem with asking for repetition. Just let people know, make them aware.
Absolutely. All right, we're talking about not just hearing when it comes to our senses. We're also talking about our eyes, because we want to make sure that the rooms are well lit. Why is that?
You know, a room like this, people will always say, oh, I hear the news really well, I don't hear blah, blah, blah on TV. Part of the reason is you're so well lit, you're always looking directly at the camera. So we want to do the same thing at home. We want to make sure we're positioning ourselves in a way that we can see as many faces as possible. People with hearing loss, especially when it gets a bit more challenging, they rely very heavily on those facial cues, on the lips. I don't always see everything or hear everything. Did they say Daryl or Carol? So I need to try and get as much information as I can to try and make sure I'm understanding what it is they're saying.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. Once again, that was Candace Fisher from Fisher Hearing, helping you hear for the holidays.
Here's what's happening in our community. A Ukrainian Christmas supper happens Saturday, December 13th at 4 p.m. 134 13th Avenue in Regina, 306-535-7853. TNC Singles Club Social Dance happens on Saturday, December 13th at 7:30 p.m. at Vaughan Street in Moose Jaw, Church of Our Lady Parish, 306-630-1492. Christmas concert happening Saturday, December 14th at 7 p.m. First Baptist Church, 2241 Victoria Avenue. That's firstbaptistregina.ca. And Blue Christmas service happens Tuesday, December 16th at 7 p.m. out in Sturgis at the Grace United Church, 306-547-7068. To have your event shown here, email us at reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca at least 2 weeks in advance.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
The holiday season can mean plenty of time spent on your feet. So Janelle is out at Bodhi Tree Yoga this morning getting some tips on how to stay grounded. Janelle?
Hi,
Hi, Jeremy. That's right. Tips on staying grounded and also tips on staying grounded while you're enjoying some of these holiday treats, the inevitable. We all love them, Colin. Thanks for being back with us. Let's talk about how you can have some treats, not feel bad about it, have that healthy relationship with those snacks.
So let's say we're at a holiday party, okay? There's like a table right here, all filled with all the stuff. You know what I mean? You want to enjoy the stuff. It's the holidays. You're meant to enjoy it. You want to be feeling guilty about eating, right? So what you do, find something that you like, something that looks good. Pick it up, just hold it in your hand, look at it for a little while. Appreciate it. Get in who made it. You know what I mean? What ingredients are in it? Smell it first. You know, pick it up. Just enjoy the smell. Maybe take like a tiny, just like a, you know what I mean? Just like a little bit. Let the flavors kind of float around and marinate in your mouth a little bit. Enjoy that. And like you can basically take one tiny little treat and you can have like a 5 to 10 minute mindfulness exercise where you're just like enjoying this thing and being present with it and then talking about it too. You can even go to people and be like, have you tried this? I've been eating it for the last 10 minutes. That's nice.
That is nice. I love that idea. And let's talk a little bit about why it is so important to not feel guilty about enjoying some of those good holiday treats.
I mean, the thing is, it would defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? To go to a party and look at a table full of food and feel bad about it, that's not the point. The point is to enjoy yourself and feel good about it and actually use it to connect with other people and to connect with yourself and that part of you that really enjoys things. So I think enjoy yourself, enjoy food, don't feel bad about it. Just like really take your time and taste things and talk about things. It's so nice. It's part of the holiday season.
That's right, Colin. Thank you so much. You and I are going to be back soon. In the meantime, stay mindful and maybe have yourself a little breakfast holiday treat. I don't know, it sounds good to me.
All right, Janelle, I like it. We'll see you again in just a little bit.
December 8th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Reese. She's celebrating her sweet 16. We hope it's a great one. This shout out coming with love from your Nan. And turning 33 today is Carissa. Happy birthday to you. Have a great day and a great year ahead with lots of love from all of your friends and family. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now. Please send those in one day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
Okay, so we heard your favorite Christmas song. What's your least favorite Christmas song, Chase?
Ooh. All of the rest of them besides those three?
Fair enough. What's going on the radio today? You're playing Christmas music.
Solid tie for last place, yes. We're playing some Christmas music. We just had a couple songs play here, too. Honestly, if you go to purecountry927.ca and look at our recently played list, they're right there for you, and then you can enter them up on the same website, and that could win you some platinum passes for Country Thunder. We're also talking Christmas baking. I want to know, how many items do you bake in your household? We're seeing anywhere from 1 to 20 so far on the text line at 54321. But let me know how many you plan to make this holiday season and what your favorite one is in there as well.
Thanks very much, Chase. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
See you then.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 dominated the box office in its opening weekend, earning $63 million, according to studio estimates. The supernatural horror film's debut marks the biggest opening for the weekend after Thanksgiving and the largest for a PG-13 movie this year. Zootopia 2 landed in second place with $43 million, followed by Wicked for Good in third. Sylvester Stallone, Kiss, and Gloria Gaynor were among the luminaries celebrated at the annual Kennedy Center Honors. President Trump hosted Sunday's gala in Washington, a first for a U.S. president. The honorees were celebrated for their influence on American culture and the arts. And happy birthday, Nicki Minaj. The singer-songwriter is 43. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
All right, well, an annual tradition has been carried out in Krakow, Poland. Their annual nativity scene competition was a big hit once again. Hundreds of people took part, where contestants create models of the city's historic buildings as a backdrop for the nativity. Some were made by kids with pizza boxes and aluminum foil, but others were elaborate, made by model makers. The event is even recognized by UNESCO.
That's crazy. The color, the detail, my goodness.
They just carry them through the crowds?
Why not? Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Outdoors in December?
Exposed to the elements?
Chess is hard enough, but why not take it to another level like this? Some of the top chess players, grandmasters they're called in the world, were in Cape Town, South Africa for the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam. Freestyle apparently means every once in a while you just put on your bathing suit and you jump in the water and you play chess underwater. Because why not? Right?
Chess is hard enough. We don't need to complicate it.
In 2013, they were like, you know what would make it better?
Good.
Right, that's just it, yeah.
Yeah, they're too bored with regular chess.
Oh,
right.
Regular chess is so boring.
Man.
Plus, they get to show off their chess physiques. What's going on in the? What's going on over there, JD?
All right, we've got a pup that's got its own problems.
Actually sound like it, you know?
Yeah, looking for his legs, right? This is Hammy is the name of the dog. He's got some issues to work out.
Yeah.
Great name, though. Hammy for a corgi?
There's one in my neighborhood called Zeus, and I love Zeus. I've never met him. I never got a chance to pet him, but I love him so much.
Oh, my daughter watches every person walking their dogs. If you live in the Greens, my daughter looks out the window and goes, Papi, Papi, every dog that passes.
Silly little legs. That's it for this hour. Reset. We got you more after this. Welcome to Monday. It's December 8th.
There are people that have booked flights. It is a responsibility for Air Transat to look after these passengers.
Some Air Transat flights are being canceled today after pilots issued a 72-hour strike notice.
Having those trees thinned out would slow the speed of an approaching wildfire.
Sprucing up a holiday tradition, an annual Christmas tree harvest in northern Saskatchewan is helping to reduce the threat of wildfire.
For Mays, back to Karimov, he shoots and scores.
Pats pick up a shutout win over the Blades. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Monday.
We are still collecting those Christmas songs that you absolutely hate on our social media feed and in our inbox. And Kayleen's already welling up over one that she loves.
One that I have to skip because I love it so much. Old Toy Trains. Just go listen to it and cry. But number one answer by far, we talked about it last hour, that it was Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's the one that everyone skips. Almost, I would say every second answer coming in still, Mariah Carey.
I feel like it needs a remix, like a rap interlude or something.
I don't think we need a remix with that.
Sure we do.
I think we can let that one fade into the background for a few years.
Okay,
we need a break.
To each their own. Let's get to our news. We'll get back to you in just a minute. U.S. President Donald Trump says Canada and the U.S. will eventually work out their differences on trade.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, the problem is Canada makes a lot of things that we don't need because we make them also. But we'll work it out. Look, Canada's a special place, and they really are good at ice hockey, aren't they? Mr. President.
Commented on the talks he held last week with Prime Minister Mark Carney during the FIFA World Cup draw. Trump canceled trade negotiations in October with Canada over that Ontario government ad. Some snowbirds rethinking their travel plans with confusion over the new U.S. crossing rules.
It was good, except for I got to get fingerprinted, but I mean, the picture was okay, but the fingerprinted thing was a little bit excessive, I think.
Angela and Lee Faubert say their latest crossing in November was anything but routine. He was fingerprinted and had his photo taken, had to fill out an I-94 form to enter the U.S., but before his crossing, he was told he didn't have to do that. The I-94 form, by the way, is supposed to be filled out by Canadians who are going to the States for more than 30 days consecutively, but some Canadians who have already traveled there say they didn't have to do it, so there's a lot of confusion, and the changing political climate means many Canadians are scrapping U.S. travel plans altogether. 4 people taken to hospital in Regina after a weekend house fire. This one happened on the 1000 block of Angus Street just before 4 in the afternoon on Sunday. Firefighters say the fire was contained to the main floor of the home. 4 occupants were taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause is now under investigation. Let's bring in Jeremy Dodge now for an update from Prince Albert. JD, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Prince Albert Police investigating a weekend death in the Gateway City. Police called to a home on 18th Street Saturday afternoon after a theft was called in. Police found the body of a man inside. And the Prince Albert Police Major Crimes Unit's investigating, and an autopsy is scheduled for today. One of Canada's oldest mechanical Christmas displays is back for another season in Saskatoon. Here's a look at the Once Upon a Christmas exhibit at Saskatoon's Western Development Museum. Most of what you see was built in 1946 with surplus materials from the Second World War. It was originally commissioned by the Eaton's department store and eventually acquired by Saskatoon's Western Development Museum, where it's been a holiday fixture for 38 years. And while some of the scenes feature Santa and his reindeer, the red-nosed favorite is missing.
What's interesting is you look through the original display, and there's no reference to Rudolph. Because he never existed until 1947, when Burl Ives sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And this built...
Along with knowledge of the displays, Randall Simpson is handy. He is the reason this nearly 80-year-old display is still going. He has no mechanical training, but is constantly crawling under the displays to make repairs. Daryl, many exploring the best Christmas tree options for their holiday.
Yeah, an annual tree harvest in one of Saskatchewan's national parks is underway. CTV's Alison Bamford explains the perfect tree can also help reduce the risk of wildfire.
It's a trip the Barrett family makes every year. Trudging through the snow with their heads up.
There's like a few boulder spots, so that'll be against the window.
Hunting for the perfect Christmas tree.
That's the thing that makes this part hard, is because I have a very specific type of tree that I want in mind.
A search rooted in family tradition that they started 3 years ago.
25, 30 feet.
Volume, shape, and size are at the top of their wish list.
And being able to get it home on our little truck is another thing that's very important for us right now.
The public can harvest the trees from the Waskesiu Community Fuel Break, about 200 kilometers north of Saskatoon.
That's an area around Waskesiu where coniferous trees are removed, as they're more flammable than something like an aspen tree.
Officials say removing trees from the fuel break reduces the wildfire risk. This summer, Parks Canada issued pre-evacuation alerts for the area. Smoke blanketed the community as a nearby wildfire burned about 30 kilometers away.
In the event of a wildfire, having those trees thinned out would slow the speed of an approaching wildfire and help give time for the community to prepare.
And the Barretts appreciate giving back to a community they've grown to love.
Understanding the sort of the responsibility for the community management definitely gives us more confidence coming and doing this sort of thing, where we wouldn't typically want to disturb nature in this manner.
Last year, 160 trees were harvested before the holidays, but with the number of young trees in the area, officials say supply for the annual event will continue to grow.
As we're getting kids coming along here, we have a young girl coming in February. We're excited to keep the tradition sort of alive.
For many years to come. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Waskesiu.
An extremely large Christmas tree has been unveiled at the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. Wayne Mantika reports.
MLAs sang carols at the Legislative Building as the new Christmas tree was unveiled. It's the centerpiece in the rotunda, where visitors and MLAs pass through daily. The Premier paused to admire the tree while talking to reporters.
I'll appreciate Christmas this year.
The artificial tree stands over 20 feet tall and is somewhat larger than the one it replaces. The previous tree had worn out after years of assembly and disassembly. MLAs took turns using the new tree as a backdrop for recording their Christmas messages.
I love the new tree. I love the bright lights, and I love all the poinsettias and the holiday cheer. I think we should have a big holiday event. I know Manitoba's legislature has an open house at the holiday season and brings folks in. So, yeah, I love the Christmas spirit in the legislature.
The tree will be on public display throughout December as part of daily public tours of the building. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
It's a chilly weekend for the 35th annual Santa Shuffle. About 200 people walked or ran along the 5-kilometer run or 1-kilometer walk route, many in costumes. This happened in Regina. It's become a holiday tradition to support those in need.
Today, I think we have over 200 individuals registered for the Santa Shuffle. Out here having a great time in wonderful costumes, running with friends and family and pets, and really making a difference in their community by showing up and doing an event like this together.
Organizers already looking ahead to next year. Now to Notre Dame Cathedral, where preparations are underway for a Christmas time this year, with the cathedral reopening following that disastrous 2019 fire. Lindsay Davis reports.
1 year since reopening, Paris's famed Notre Dame Cathedral is still undergoing a stunning resurrection. The nativity scene is once again a big draw during this Christmas season. On December 24th, the small Bible will be replaced with a baby. Outside, scaffolding serves as a reminder that this 850-year-old building is still healing, still becoming, restoring what 2019's fire tried to claim but could not extinguish. Philippe Jost is Secretary General of Notre Dame, charged with overseeing this massive undertaking of reconstruction.
President Macron at the time said, "We're going to build this up. It's going to be even more beautiful." Do you think you've achieved that?
We are very happy of what has been done here.
We're told that one of the most intricate aspects of this project was recreating the spire. It took 8 months to build it. It is just a masterpiece.
This holiday season, Paris is in full swing, with this crown jewel still under repair, but very much alive.
We feel there's a soul inside this building.
It's the soul of a cultural monument, Catholic monument, and it's the soul of all that people who has worked here have given to the monument, you see?
Lindsay Davis, ABC News, New York.
Really do have to see it in person. Kayleen, we're seeing nothing but cold temperatures today.
Well, today's not so bad. It's actually towards the rest of the week that we see temperatures are taking a nosedive down. We really have to enjoy today, believe it or not. If you're cold right now, things aren't going to be improving by the end of the week. -12 right now to wake us up in Regina. We do have a few clouds to start the day, and winds coming in at 15 kilometers per hour right now. In Saskatoon, we're at -15 right now, so temperatures have been going down in the past few minutes. Winds very calm to start the day, only coming in right now at 7 kilometers per hour. And again, we are seeing some clouds to start the day. Better, though, than what we were seeing just a couple hours ago, where Saskatoon and Regina were seeing some of those flakes. It's all part of this system that we saw overnight. Now, Prince Albert and Yorkton going to be seeing some of it for the rest of the morning here. Estevan as well, expecting about 1 more centimeter of snow. It's going to be pushing away from Estevan for the later parts of the morning, and then we finally see it breaking away from Yorkton into the later parts. And then still seeing some of it up north, again seeing some of it northeast of Prince Albert into the later parts of the afternoon. What we're really looking forward to is the larger system that's making its way in from Alberta. That's going to start impacting Saskatchewan overnight. And then early tomorrow morning, Regina going to be seeing some freezing rain. Could be coming in the form of some frozen ice pellets, in fact. Saskatoon going to be seeing some early morning snow tomorrow. Yorkton going to be seeing some of that as well. And then some freezing rain down through the areas around Estevan as well. Be prepared prepared for that. If you are planning on any early morning commutes tomorrow, take it slow. Give yourself extra time. Into the afternoon, we're also seeing some of that snow down through Regina and Estevan and Yorkton. It should be pushing away from Saskatoon in the later parts of the morning, however, in the afternoon rather. And then we are looking forward to seeing some more snow on Wednesday and Thursday as well. Now, by the end of the day today, Prince Albert going to be seeing about 1 centimeter of snow, Yorkton about 6 centimeters of snow. And then tomorrow, take a look at how all of these numbers jump up. Again, most of that snow is going to be falling tomorrow morning into the early parts of the afternoon. Today's forecast showing temperatures are going to be above the seasonal average down towards the south. So Swift Current could be seeing some of those positive temperatures, 1 degree. -3 for Moose Jaw, -4 for Yorkton, -2 for Weyburn and Estevan, -10 though for Saskatoon, -11 for Yorkton, and -11 for Prince Albert. As we mentioned, some more snow on the way for the next few days, and then temperatures dropping overnight on Thursday down to about -27. -26 is where we're peaking in Regina on Friday. And then in Saskatoon, again, snow for the next few days. Temperatures dropping overnight on Thursday to about -30. Friday, going to be a cold one.
Take a look back at December 8th, 1993, when U.S. President Bill Clinton signed the North American Free Trade Agreement into American law. December 8th, 1969, Jimi Hendrix appeared in a Toronto court to defend himself against charges of possession of hash and heroin. Our technical glitch gremlin, Georgie, bouncing around the system there a little bit.
All right, let's get into this. I know this will cheer you guys up. Cortina's Olympic Village is coming together nicely. Check out the 1,400 athletes will live in the village, and they'll be staying in 377 mobile homes. And they're all built with recyclable materials, and they're meant to reflect the game's focus on sustainability. The CEO of infrastructure for the Olympics says these games will give athletes a chance to rest and relax in peace and quiet with nothing to hear but the mountains.
Okay. Hopefully they can be torn down or put to good use after, because those pictures of some of those abandoned Olympic sites are scary.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rent a place here. That's a very
turn it
nice
into
location.
an Airbnb afterwards. That's a great idea.
Make some money off this. All right, brings us to our question of the day. We are looking for the worst Christmas song to you. Which one comes on the radio and you hit skip, or another channel, or whatever it is?
At least this hour we have a little bit of variation in some answers, but overall it is just Mariah Carey. This one coming in though saying A Marshmallow World is the worst Christmas song. Extremely annoying. I skip it every time and have cut out friends who enjoy it.
Stop.
Those aren't my people.
That's extreme.
That is extreme.
Wow.
Jinx.
You know, I would skip to the other boards, but it's not working for me here.
I love technology when it works.
Technical glitches.
Probably because it's minus 38 degrees in this studio right now. That's
but hey, overall, the #1 answer on all the other boards here this morning were just Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. So we know what we're skipping this year.
And we're playing a lot of hippopotamuses for Christmas. See you in a second.
Air Transat says it will begin suspending flights today after its pilots union issued a strike notice for early Wednesday morning. The Montreal-based airline and the Airline Pilots Association, which represents its 750 pilots, have failed to reach a new collective agreement in talks that began last winter. Both sides will be in a legal strike or lockout position on Wednesday. The carrier on Sunday morning called the strike notice premature. Air Transat says it believes an agreement is possible, but that it will begin suspending service on Monday with a complete shutdown by Tuesday. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Sunday that a deal struck by Netflix to buy Warner Brothers could be a problem because of the size of the combined market share. There's no question about it, is what he said. The Republican president said he will be involved in the decision about whether the federal government should approve the $72 billion deal. If approved by regulators, the merger would put two of the world's biggest streaming services under the same ownership. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, let's head back out to Mike Siona now, who is spending time at the Saskatoon Food Bank this morning.
Well, it is the season, as they say, and we're here with Laurie O'Connor one more time at the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center talking about Light It Up. And we've gone over how you can get a tree like this in your business or place of residence if you want, anywhere that people are donating. It seems so much more impactful this time of year, but it's a year-round initiative for you guys.
It is, absolutely. So we need to have our warehouse stocked all year round with the most nutritious food possible, of course. And so, you know, we always say to folks, when you're out grocery shopping, think about what you would put in your pantry. That's what you can donate to the Food Bank and Learning Center as well.
No doubt. No. We were talking off camera here about just some staggering numbers by weight. How much food comes in and goes out in a day?
You know, I think we're moving over 6 tons of food every day. So that's what's going to the community. That's what's come to us from the generous donors. And we're also appreciative of that.
Yeah, no doubt. And this time of year, obviously, you know, that spirit of giving reigns true. Light It Up campaign is so important. Is it? How do you kind of quantify that, I guess, in terms of this time of year?
Well, for us, this is our major fundraising season. So we're in the community, we're raising funds, and a major portion of our budget is raised during this time of the year. Of course, it's when folks are thinking about their most loved charity and who they want to support. We're just really thankful that it happens to be us a lot of the time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're very thankful that organizations like you guys exist here in our community for our community. It is, you know, the stark reality that the need continues to rise. I mean, we heard this morning 2 to 3% intake year over year, and the trend seems to be going in that direction. So hopefully, yeah, you guys are in a position to be able to help light it up at the Saskatoon Food Bank.
Canadian Blood Services say they are looking for more plasma donors ahead of the holidays. The organization calls plasma liquid gold, saying it can support patients having cancer treatments or surgeries. They also say many regular blood and plasma donors may take the holidays off, so they're asking for new donors to step up. Canadian Blood Services says plasma donations are similar to blood donations. They just take a little longer, but the process is largely the same. They say they need 1 million new plasma donors as they expect a 50% rise in demand at hospitals over the next 5 years.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Ho, ho, ho. 'Tis the season to give the gift of JB's sausage, and that can come in many forms. We're here with Brody Crozier and Dorothy Garrow, as we often are, and today we're talking about different gifts, and let's start with some cookbooks.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of giving kitchen items for gifts. We sell a variety of cookbooks. People are always asking questions about making sausage and that sort of thing. And when I'm not around to give the advice, this is kind of like my go-to to give them the knowledge that they need to know. We also carry a variety of knives and kitchen gadgets and stuff, make the perfect stocking stuffers. I know that there's a lot of talk about not giving knives, but everybody needs a good knife. So that's my go-to.
There you go. We can cut the superstition right now. That's what we can do. Brody, the accessories are literally limitless on the other side here, but talk about some of the stuff that you've got here for grilling and like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, cast iron press, you know, for making smash burgers or whatever else. It's got a picture of bacon on there. Sure, yes. Why not? Whatever your mind can come up with. Gloves for taking stuff off the grill. You got hot sauces, jerky kits, and accessories. These bear claws, highly recommend if you're making pulled pork and that sort of thing. Much, much better than using 2 forks. And then you got the smoke tubes or the maze, which is the big one here. And then just your general all-around kits. We have these also individually. So yeah, whatever you need. And of course, we got a whole grill
Well, I was going to say, I mean, like, these are all great, but it depends who you happen to be buying for and the like. I mean, that might not fit in a stocking. It might not even fit under a tree, but you could take a tree, turn it into wood pellets, and there you go. You've got the main event right there. How popular are the smokers?
I mean, we sell a lot of smokers. We've been selling a lot of the upright smokers lately, but I mean, the grill type, if you need a new barbecue, upgrading to a grill style is definitely a good idea, because you can make whatever you want on those things. So
yeah, a lot of versatility, that's for sure. I know I've got one as well. And if you've got perhaps, you know, a choosy somebody on your list, or you just don't know exactly what they have, because they might have all the knickknacks that you can think of, but they're probably missing something. Gift certificates are a great option.
Yeah, we carry gift certificates in any denomination that you want. We can go from $25 or less to whatever you feel like you need to spend. So we have that anytime, not just at Christmas, so they can give it to whoever they want, and they can come in and pick their own items.
Perfect. Give the gift of shopping. I love it. Locations in Saskatoon and Regina, and of course online, jvsausage.ca.
Sayani, welcome to your morning. Let's get to your headlines. And just as the busy holiday travel season gets underway, there are dark skies ahead for some travelers. Air Transat pilots have set the stage for a strike as early as Wednesday morning after providing notice to the company yesterday. The Airline Pilots Association says it's filed a strike notice after failing to find some common ground after years of negotiations. Rahim Ladani reports.
Those planning to fly on Air Transat may have to look for a different flight as the company's pilots edge closer towards walking off the job.
We're ready, we're engaged, we're at the table, and we want a deal to make sure that our passengers can get to their destination.
The Airline Pilots Association says 99% of the airline's 750 pilots have voted in favor of a strike if necessary, saying management has left them no choice and that they've been without a new agreement since 2015.
We're trying to bring compensation up to date, along with our pension, the benefits, and also one of the most important items, job security.
Transat AT Inc., which owns the leisure airline, calls the union's move reckless. Now a 72-hour notice is in effect, meaning the clock is ticking to get a deal done before the pilots can strike as early as December 10th. However, the airline says it has no choice but to start canceling flights beginning Monday, with a complete suspension of flights on Tuesday.
It's bringing, uncertainty as to how people are going to get down south and how they're going to be able to reach loved ones.
The two sides have been negotiating for nearly a year without success. The airline saying it has offered a 59% salary increase over 5 years and major improvements to pilots' working conditions.
It's in line with the gap that we felt that we needed to bridge to be in line with the Canadian market.
But without a bridge at the bargaining table, passengers are caught in the middle.
Right now, there's about 24 aircraft that are in the air, and they're servicing like 60 destinations. So there are people that have booked flights. It is a responsibility for Air Transat to look after these passengers.
You're not going to be out of money if your flight gets canceled. You will get refunded. It may take some time. As you can understand, there's going to be a backlog of refunds if that is the case. But you will be out of a flight, and it may be difficult to find a flight at this time of year, unfortunately.
A potential travel nightmare if both parties can't come to an agreement quickly. Customers hoping to fly on Air Transat this week are being given more flexibility to change or postpone their travel plans at no extra cost. But with the airline and the union representing pilots still without a deal, travelers may have to pay a lot more money for a last-minute ticket on a different airline.
Now to the latest on the strikes of a suspected drug boat that are raising questions about possible war crimes. Democratic lawmakers in the U.S. are calling for the release of the full video of the attack. Mary Bruce reports.
This morning, pressure is growing on the Trump administration to release the full video of the September 2nd strikes on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean that killed 11 people, including 2 initial survivors. Democrats who have seen the video demanding it be made public.
They don't want to release this video because they don't want people to see it, because it's very, very difficult to justify.
A source who has reviewed the footage tells ABC News that after the initial strike, the video shows the survivors clinging for their lives to the wreckage of the overturned boat, appearing incapacitated and waving to something overhead. Another source says roughly 40 minutes after that first attack, the military struck again, killing those survivors. Lawmakers who have seen the footage are offering starkly different assessments. The top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Jim Himes, describes it as an attack on defenseless survivors, which violates international law.
I think it's really important that people see what it looks like when the full force of the United States military is turned on 2 guys who are clinging to a piece of wood and about to go under.
But the top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee is adamant the survivors were valid targets and that the attack was justified.
They were not in a shipwreck state, distressed, dog paddling in the water at all. And therefore, that boat, its cargo, and those drug traffickers remained valid targets.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has argued the survivors were still in the fight. According to a source, the identities of the 11 people killed on the boat that day were known to U.S. intelligence as being involved in drug smuggling. The administration has insisted these strikes and its campaign against alleged drug traffickers is lawful, arguing the U.S. is in a formal armed conflict and that drug cartels are unlawful combatants. But the administration has yet to provide evidence for these allegations. Still, the president has said he supports the release of the full video of the September 2nd strike.
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we certainly release, no problem.
But Secretary Hegseth is non-committal.
Whatever we were to decide to release, we'd have to be very responsible about, so we're reviewing that right now.
Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
Now to Luigi Mangione, accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year. Back in court as we get a first glimpse of the newly released evidence in the case. Aaron Gatursky reports.
This morning, accused killer Luigi Mangione returns to court, where he's coming face-to-face with the police officers who arrested him in a Pennsylvania McDonald's after a 5-day manhunt.
They're looking for a male, about 5 feet, 10 inches in height, cream-colored jacket, black mask, black gloves.
Newly released video shows what happened after Mangione allegedly gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The suspect walks by the victim and appears to glance at him before turning and scampering away. Police said the suspect fled on a bike, hailed a taxi, and eventually hopped a bus. Officers testified they found this Greyhound ticket in Mangione's pocket under the name Sam Dawson. It's a second alias prosecutors said Mangione used after allegedly showing this fake ID for a Mark Rosario.
I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, that he looks like the CEO shooter from New York.
Customers at an Altoona McDonald's had noticed a young man eating breakfast in a corner seat.
Well, he has his beanie pulled down, so the only thing you can see is his eyebrows.
Altoona police dispatched 2 officers.
Got a call from the manager there. Customers came to her, said there's a male in the store that looks like the NYC shooter.
Mangione's attorneys are now challenging what police retrieved from his backpack. One of the next witnesses is the officer who searched the bag, pulling out the alleged murder weapon and writings that prosecutors say point to motive. Another witness is the officer who found this pocket knife, zip ties, and a future to-do list. For today's date a year ago, the paper listed digital cam, hot meals, and water bottles. For the next day, the note said Intel check-in and survival kit. The evidence suppression hearing here is expected to continue all week. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Some members of Regina City Council held a toy drive over the weekend to help the Salvation Army provide gifts for some 1,500 families at Christmas. Wayne Mantica reports.
It was a chance to give back to the community this Christmas.
We want to have young people experience kind of a normal Christmas when it comes to presents.
A number of community leaders were invited to pitch in.
And when you think about Christmas spirit, it's about giving and not receiving. And so we really need to make sure that everyone in our community has something to open up on Christmas morning.
The toys collected will be distributed by the Salvation Army.
And Salvation Army is going to be taking a number of toys back to be able to distribute
to kids that might not otherwise get something for Christmas this year.
This year's goal is to help hundreds of families with toys at Christmas.
We've had a few other councillors show up, the mayor show up, just to collect toys for the 1,500 families that we're going to support this year.
Councillor Sickleys asked the McDonald's in Harbour Landing to host the event, where the restaurant owner recalls how her family was helped at Christmas when she was a child.
I came from very humble beginnings, and so we didn't have any money for toys or anything like that. So every year the firefighters would come over to my home to bring toys for our family. And now that I'm in a position where I can, give back, we thought when, we were doing this that we wanted to give back to the community.
The toy drive proved successful with enough donations to fill a half-ton truck. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
One of Canada's oldest mechanical Christmas displays is back for another season in Saskatoon. For decades, families have made it a part of their holiday tradition thanks to the busy volunteers. One in particular, Laura Woodward explains.
This is where the magic happens, Randall Simpson's workshop. But unlike Santa, he's not building toys. He's fixing the Once Upon a Christmas display.
The majority of what you see here was built in 1946.
Originally commissioned by the Eaton's department store, built with war surplus materials and shown in Winnipeg. Over the years, it's traveled across the country until 1977, when it was consolidated at the Saskatoon Eaton store, later acquired by the Western Development Museum, where it's been a holiday fixture for 38 years.
What's interesting is you look through the original display, and there's no reference to Rudolph. Because he never existed until 1947 when Burl Ives sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
One of Simpson's favorite displays is Pumpkinhead, the sad little bear, created by the same Canadian cartoonist behind Bugs Bunny.
His story is that he's got a bad hair day and all the other bears make fun of him, but he's the only one that can wear a special hat to go with Santa on his sleigh.
Behind each little movement is a lot of mechanical work.
It's really, really simple technology. There's no electronics in this whatsoever. Everything's mechanically run.
And some of the belts are still the 80-year-old originals.
I am primarily involved in maintaining and keeping it running because it does break down a lot.
And Simpson does all of it without any formal mechanical training.
I was raised by a father who was born on a farm and has a economic gene in him, and he instilled that with me. And so anything I can do myself, I do, because I got more time than money.
And it's Simpson's dedication that keeps this Christmas tradition running. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The nominations for the Golden Globes have been handed out, with a certain film leading the pack for nominations.
The message is clear.
I'll be seeing you very soon.
Not if I see you first. This is an announcement on revolution.
One battle after another, leading the charge, with Leo DiCaprio as the star. Paul Thomas Anderson is nominated for Best Director for the Motion Picture category. Other Best Directors nominated include Sinner's Frankenstein, It Just Happened by Accident, Hamnet, the famous movie there, and Sentimental Value. The Golden Globes happen January 11th, and they'll be hosted by Nikki Glaser. More nominations are happening as we speak. Let's get over to the Weather Center. We got to show you a picture, and this is, Kayleen, sent in to us by Amy. Her son Tanner wrapped his truck in Christmas lights. You have to really look in deep there to see it, right in front of the Legislative Building, and thought she'd share that with us this morning. Very festive.
Very festive to get us into the holiday spirit this morning. Thank you for sending in that photo.
We need a closer up view of the truck. It's got just as many colors as that map behind you.
Yeah, the gradient here showing a couple different colors to us this morning. The pink up towards the north. We're seeing some cooler temperatures up there. Down towards the south, though, in particular the southwest corner of the province, we are seeing some warmer temperatures this morning. Today is going to be a little bit warmer also than what we're seeing later on in the week, so we do want to enjoy these temperatures, if you can believe it or not. Not up north, of course. Stony Rapids at -25 already. La Ronge at -17. Nipawin at -14. Melfort at -13. Down towards the south, though, -5 in East End, -5 in Swift Current, and -3 in Assiniboia. Moose Jaw at -13. -13, -11 in Weyburn, -12 in Regina, and -15 right now in Saskatoon. So definitely still bundle up on your way out the door. But again, we're talking about temperatures taking a nosedive towards the end of this week. Today's wind gusts not so high. Areas around Regina and Estevan seeing the peak of those winds up to about 40-45 kilometers per hour. It's actually tomorrow that we're seeing them get stronger, up to about 65 kilometers per hour in some places down towards the south. So be prepared for that. It's going to make the snow that's on the way be blowing across those roads tomorrow. Today, though, we're just talking about some more flurries still falling in the area around Yorkton, down through Estevan as well. Areas north of Prince Albert still going to be seeing some of those flurries into the later parts of this morning and early into the afternoon. And then we see it pushing out of the south. We still see some of it up north into the later parts of the afternoon. And then we're looking forward to overnight when we see some more snow coming into the north and central part of the province and some rain down towards the south. It does unfortunately mean that Regina is expecting to see some frozen ice pellets early tomorrow morning. It is going to be complicating your commute tomorrow, so we are going to want to plan ahead, leave some extra time, set your alarms a little bit earlier tomorrow morning. And then into the afternoon, we are talking about some more flurries on the way for Regina. Into the later parts of the afternoon, we do see it pushing away from Saskatoon, so we are going to be seeing a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. But again, flurries on the way, and then we're still seeing those flurries into Wednesday and Thursday as well. Thursday overnight, we see those temperatures really dropping. Today, though, this is what I meant when I said enjoy it while we still can. Swift Current, 1 degree, Moose Jaw, -3, Weyburn, -2, and Estevan, -2 today. That is above the seasonal average. We typically see about -7 in the afternoons. Saskatoon slightly below, so -10 this afternoon. Prince Albert -11. We're looking forward to some more snowfall for the next few days, and then cold on Friday, -26 in Regina. And in Saskatoon, after we get through these 3 days of snow, we're talking about -28 on Friday, making it feel colder with the wind chill.
We are nicely into the holiday season, and who can't use a little holiday cash? Well, the Kinsman Club of Saskatoon to the rescue, because they've got their fabulous 50-50 going on right now. And with us today, Shane Barlarjon, as well as Karen Lindsley. Karen Lindsley with the Ronald McDonald House, and of course with the Saskatoon Kinsman Club. So it's great to have you both here today.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Jeff. So let's talk about this 50-50. It's not a new thing. It's been out there for a while, but it's become a very, I'll say, quickly established tradition with the Kinsman Club. So what is this particular iteration?
Yeah, so our Christmas edition, we're going even bigger again. Okay. So we've got $98,000 in cash prizes to give away between now and the final deadline on February 14th, which includes Day of Giving on December 19th. We're going to be giving cash away all day long, $1,000 an hour. And we've got the 12 days of Christmas we've brought into this.
What's that?
Starting on the December 25th, anybody who's purchased a ticket prior to that time is in to win $15,000 that day. And then for the 12 days after, we're going to have cash prizes on top of that as well.
Fantastic. And so many ways to win with the Kinsman 50-50 lottery. But of course, they're raising money for all the good work they do in our community. And one of the organizations that benefits from the funds, in fact, this particular lottery directly benefiting the Ronald McDonald House here in Saskatoon. Karen, what do these funds allow you to do?
Yeah, you know, we can't do the work we do, Jeff, without the support of good community partners such as the Kinsmen. And so this will allow us to continue to support families in the way that they need it the most. So providing that safe, comfortable accommodation, food programs. Of course, families are away from home during the holidays. Yes. So we want to make sure that they can have some special things that kind of make them feel like they're sort of at home, I guess, during that time.
And for people who don't know where the Ronald McDonald House is located here in Saskatoon, I think most people do, but why don't we let them know?
Yeah, so we're located at 1011 University Drive here in Saskatoon. We also have a family room in Prince Albert. And exciting news, we're building a 20-room house in Regina and a 12-room house in Prince Albert.
Wow.
So we're doubling our footprint across the province to support more families.
That is amazing. And of course, supporting families, and the Kinsman Club is supporting you. So let's talk about getting those tickets, Shane. How do people get them? And are there packages, or just buy one ticket? How does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got different package levels. Entry level, you're going to be in for $20, gets you in to win. And we've got some, you can get a lower $1 per ticket if you buy more. Also, when you buy the larger packages, you're getting coupons to 3 Hall Saskatoon, which is another one of our partners on this. But the main area for all of the information is kinsman5050lottery.com. And we'll have a phone number. I think that will probably be scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
Absolutely is.
But so you can get on phone or at kinsman5050lottery.com. And really, with all of the things we're doing in this lottery, the key thing is the sooner you buy, the more chances you have to win.
All right. It's as simple as that. A great way to support the Saskatoon Kinsman Club and the great work they do in our community. Just go to the website and get those tickets and get them early. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, let's go back and check in with Janelle Lepai at Bodhi Tree Yoga one more time with some healthy habits for the holiday season.
All right, well, we are wrapping up our morning of mindfulness, but before we do that, Colin and I are back one more time. Now, Colin, tell us a little bit about the family experience during the holidays. You can be a little bit stressed, need some downtime. How do we go about doing that?
One of the main things to do is to just get away. Take little breaks. I mean, I don't mean like leave the house and go for a walk, although not bad. A little walk around the block with the dog, maybe. Not a bad plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but if you need to, like it maybe just like it's too busy, you know what I mean? There's just too much stuff going around. It's too loud. You get away from people a little bit. Quick little twist. So you're going to kind of like get away from people, find yourself a comfy chair, sit down. Just take one hand, bring it over to the outside edge of your other thigh, lift up your chest, and just literally going to turn and look around behind you. Give it a couple of breaths. Feel a little kind of squeeze in your back, because it'll squeeze the muscles in your back. Let go of that. Do the other side. After you go back and forth a couple times, notice how your back feels. And it's just going to feel like warm, kind of like more circulation. Things just move a little bit better. And as a result of that, you should be feeling a little bit more relaxed and calm, able to get up and go hang out with your family without being annoyed all the time.
Yes. All right. Some great tips. Because it happens. It can happen to anybody. So let's normalize that conversation. Make sure you're stretching out this holiday season. Colin, thank you so much for having us over this morning.
Pleasure as always.
All right. Well, make sure you're staying mindful this holiday season. Get those stretches in. Do those breathing techniques. We'll see you tomorrow.
Assemble.
Earth's mightiest heroes will assemble again in 2026. Marvel says Avengers Endgame, one of the biggest box office hits in history, will get an exclusive re-release in theaters beginning September 25th, ahead of the debut of Avengers Doomsday in December. A strong start for Rosemead. The drama, starring Lucy Liu as a mother desperate to protect her troubled teenage son, made an estimated $50,000 over the weekend at one New York theater, one of the best per theater grosses of any film this year. Rosemead, based on a true story, opens in Los Angeles Friday and in wider release in January. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
On Friday, we were hoping to learn more about one of the stories we featured, and this morning we do have the conclusion to the story about an 88-year-old veteran still working.
That's right, Jeremy. I'm excited for this one because the internet has rallied to get him enough money to retire. Here is Tom Lummis.
I like to share your story and try and, get people to help you retire.
Oh, thank you.
This is the moment that resonated with millions of people. Army veteran Ed Bambus, still working full-time in a grocery store at 88, trying to make ends meet after he says his General Motors buyout dried up.
I sold the house, and we made it through. My wife died 7 years ago. Since then, I've been trying to reestablish myself.
His story inspiring Australian influencer Sam Wiedenhofer to take action.
Oh, thank you.
And an outpouring of donations followed. More than $1.7 million raised to help Ed retire. And today, our cameras were there in Michigan when Sam surprised him with the life-changing check.
You will be able to retire because we've raised you $1.77 million.
Ed, overcome with emotion, and moved to tears.
Oh my God. It feels fake, I know, but it's completely real. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations. So, yeah, congratulations.
I don't know how I can thank the 10th of these people. Thank you.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
The generosity of strangers, changing one man's life forever.
Thank you.
Incredible finish.
Joke's on you. I planned on crying today.
Yeah, good. That's good. I like that. That's warm and fuzzy. Congratulations, Tim. Unfortunately, he probably does have to finish his shift.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Oh, also, but can you close tomorrow?
You didn't give 2 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
So let's get to your sidebar. Canadian singer Michael Bublé performed for the Pope and the disadvantaged at the Vatican's annual Concert with the Poor.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
The concert aims to offer an experience of art and culture to the less fortunate, including those experiencing homelessness and migrants. A packed dinner and other comfort items were distributed to the 3,000 guests. A very honorable event, for sure.
I can't believe his voice still sounds that good.
He's so good.
Wow.
I saw him in Saskatchewan 2 years back. He is so, so good.
Voice like butter.
And he's funny. Like, he's really, really legitimately funny.
Yeah.
It's just charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oozing.
All right. Last one here. Here's a bird that's taking their name quite literally.
Wow, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
Finally, a good sidebar video.
It's a mockingbird.
Finally, at last.
If only birds would talk like this.
Oh.
That's kind of what we talk to each other in the studio like.
It's true. We're so mean.
That's how director Corey answers all of us. See you tomorrow.